Hello YouTubers, this is SHEM. As some of you probably know, I've been testing the OnePlus One since a few days. So far I've managed to do an unboxing video and show you what is included in the set. In this video I'll walk you through all of the CyanogenMod 11S features, which is the software pre-installed on OnePlus One. As usual, you can find a timeline in the video description. Let's begin with the initial setup. During boot up, you'll be welcomed first by the OnePlus and Android logos and then a CyanogenMod logo animation. The first screen to appear is the language selection. You have a choice of 75 languages to choose from. Of course, you'll need an internet connection to log in, so you can choose from one of the available Wi-Fi networks or use your mobile data. The next screen is where you'll be able to log in with your details or set up a Google account. Because this is an Android phone, you'll need an account to be able to install apps from the Play Store. The next step deals with CyanogenMod account. It is optional, but if you do create one, you'll be able to localize your device and remotely delete files in case it was stolen. Now we have the standard location settings. Here you can allow apps to use GPS or network locating. Next step is called Personalization. Of course, there'll be a lot more options once you finish the initial setup, but here you can turn on the on-screen buttons, which will replace the capacitive ones below the screen, and choose either CyanogenMod or stock Android theme. At last, we have the date and time setup. Here you can choose your time zone and current time and date. When you click on Finish, the initial setup will be done. Now you'll enter the Trebuchet Launcher for the first time. When you long press anywhere on empty space on the screen, you'll be taken to the home screen settings. Here you can select one of the pre-installed wallpapers, set the screen transition effect or other widget. On the list of pre-installed widgets are all of the standard Google ones, and additionally a clock and weather widget called CClock, and a cool calculator widget that opens up as a bubble on the screen. Additional Trebuchet options can be found under the home menu in phone settings. In home screen submenu, you can turn the persistent search button on or off and hide the icon labels. In the app drawer settings, you can hide any app from the device along with its shortcut and widget. Additionally, if you press on the bottom of the screen whilst being in the app drawer, you can set the sorting order of apps and choose a transition effect. In the general submenu, you can decrease the size of icons on the home screen, which are by default set to be larger, and here you can also change the font. OnePlus One comes pre-installed with all of the standard Google apps. Additionally, we have a few from CyanogenMod which you can find on the apps list. The first one is Audio FX. This is where you'll be able to adjust everything that has to do with sound on the device. First, choose either the speaker, headset or Bluetooth from the list, and then choose from the multiple equalizer presets and reverbs to adjust the music to your liking. The next up is the gallery, which of course is here to let you browse through your pictures and recordings. It has an interesting interface and lets you sync your pictures from Flickr, Facebook and Dropbox. Next on the list is the calculator. At first sight it looks like the standard stock Android app, but it has extended features that let you create graphs or perform calculations with matrices. Up next is a simple torch, a file manager to browse the contents of your phone memory, and an email app which will let you sync multiple email accounts with your smartphone. The Themes Showcase app lets you browse through CyanogenMod 11 themes available in the Play Store. Most of them are paid for, and the price usually ranges between 99 cents to $2 to $3. The themes contain not only wallpapers and icons, but also styled apps. As I've mentioned earlier, there are two pre-installed. First is the Hex theme, and second, called Hollow, is the standard Android KitKat look. On the list of apps, you'll also find a voice recorder that can save files in 3 different formats, and a brilliant app called Screencast. Screencast, as the name suggests, lets you record in real time what is happening on the screen of your phone. The app works flawlessly and the recordings can be easily shared via Bluetooth or email. The last app on the list that I want to mention is the Camera app. I'll have a separate video with detailed camera review soon and I'll show you all of its features. In the personalization settings, besides the home menu, you'll find the lock screen, themes and interface. When you go to lock screen, you can change your screen security by setting face unlock, pattern or pin screen lock. Here you can also input owner info and set a delay for the screen locking. Next we have button actions, where you can assign functions to each button to be able to quickly turn on the torch or toggle sound. By default, the custom lock screen option is checked in the lock screen settings. It is characterized by a blue information panel. You can uncheck that option to get a more familiar look. Next, we have the themes menu. Here you'll be able to find all themes installed on your device. Depending on the theme, they can be composed of several elements. We don't have to choose all from one of them, but we can mix and match according to our preference. The last menu in the personalization settings is the interface. In status bar, you can select what information is displayed. Here you can turn the clock on or off, choose one of the available battery styles, and if it shows battery status percent, change the signal status style, turn on brightness control by sliding across the status bar, turn the show notification count on status bar option, and the awesome double tap to sleep gesture. In the quick settings panel, you can turn on quick settings pull down from either right or left hand side of the screen. Next, you can turn auto closing of panel after selecting a toggle, or switch to smaller tiles to be able to fit more on the quick settings panel. The number and arrangement of toggles can be changed in the next menu. Additionally, you can select what sound modes you want when you press the sound toggle and do the same for screen timeout modes. In the end, we have dynamic tiles. You can decide if you want them to be visible when the system event happens. Next in the interface menu is the notification drawer, where you can select if you want it to auto close after removing the last notification and turn on or off the quick access ribbon. The interface menu is where you'll also find gesture shortcuts on lock screen, so that you can draw a circle to launch the camera, draw a letter V to launch the torch, and use gestures to control music playback. The last option in the menu is Extended Desktop. When you check that feature, you'll be able to turn on Expanded Desktop in Power menu. Expanded Desktop basically causes the status bar to disappear and makes your content visible on the whole screen. In sound settings, you can set the speaker loudness for music, notifications and alarms. In ring mode, you can choose if you want normal ringtone or just vibrations, or to totally mute the phone. Volume panel style is where you select what will be shown when you press the volume rocker. Quiet hours is a very interesting feature which lets you change the sounds for a certain period of time during the day so that we're not woken up in the middle of the night. You can, however, allow notifications from your contacts or predefined numbers. The next on the list are sound effects, which basically take you to the audio effects app that I've mentioned earlier. When the launch music app checkbox is checked, your default music app will turn on when the headset is connected. The next three sets of menus deal with ringtone and vibration settings. Here you can choose from the long list of available ringtones and select vibrations and ascending ringtone. Further down we have the same settings for notifications. Next are the system sounds, where you can turn on the dial pad, touch tones, touch sound, screen lock sound or vibrate on touch, and at last we have charging sounds when connecting the charger to the phone. Now to the display and lights settings. Here you can adjust the brightness, set what rotations you want the screen to turn, select after how much time of inactivity your phone will go to sleep, adjust font size, adjust daydream option, which is basically a screensaver when charging, and cast screen lets you wirelessly duplicate your screen to, for example, a smart TV. Because OnePlus One has a built-in multicolored LED notification light, here you'll find all the settings. You can adjust the color and duration of notification light for all notifications, or adjust a specific one to a certain application. Next up we have adaptive backlight, which adjusts the brightness to maximize battery life. For some reason, this is where you'll find the double tap to wake option and the screen off animation styles as well. At last we have screen color setting, where you can change the hue, contrast and intensity of the display and adjust them to your liking. Now let's move on to the button settings. First we can customize the power menu and what elements are shown after pressing the power button. Next we can enable or disable on-screen navigation bar and adjust the capacitive button's backlight. Further down are settings for each individual button, and we can adjust what actions will be performed when we long press or double tap each one. Profiles are an extremely easy way to define a group of toggles and actions that we will later be able to quickly launch when selecting the given profile. It is a great solution for drivers who can set a profile that switches on Bluetooth and GPS. The next settings in OnePlus One that I'm gonna mention are privacy settings. Here you can manage which apps have access to your personal data in Privacy Guard. In the Blacklist menu you can block certain contacts or numbers from calling you, and WhisperPush is an app which will encrypt text between users so that no one can gain access to the secret messages. When you go to About Phone and press 7 times on the build number, the developer options and performance settings will be enabled. In developer options, other than the standard tools for programmers, you'll find Advanced Reboot that will add an option to reboot to built-in recovery or bootloader in the power menu. Because the phone runs on Android KitKat, here you can also change the runtime from Dalvik to ART. Along with the developer options, performance menu also appeared on the list. Here you can change performance profiles, change the I/O scheduler and the processor clock speed, and manage memory. Overall, the system is stable and very fast. I haven't stumbled upon any significant lags, but I did get a couple of apps to force close on me. The OnePlus team announced that they are still in the process of polishing the software and that we can expect the updates soon. I hope that you've enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel.